The meeting will now come to order. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cece Cooper. I am the Vice Chair of the Board of Directors for Chugach Electric Association. Board Chair Sam Kaysen couldn't be here today as he's traveling, so I will be chairing tonight's meeting. I would like to welcome all of you to the 2024 membership meeting of your member-owned electric cooperative. We begin tonight with the presentation of the colors. The Alaska Military Youth Academy Color Guard will present the colors, followed by Eagle River High School senior Emily Cooley, who will sing the national anthem. Please stand.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you to the Alaska Military Youth Academy and to Emily Cooley, who graduated just this week from Eagle River High School. Yes, thank you for the wonderful presentation of the colors and singing of the national anthem. We would like to acknowledge that we gather today on the traditional land of the Dena'ina Athabascans. For thousands of years, the Dena'ina have been and continue to be the stewards of this land. It is with gratitude and respect that we recognize the contributions, innovations, and contemporary perspectives of the Upper Cook Inlet Dena'ina Thank you. On behalf of the full Chugach board and management, thank you for being here tonight. At this important annual membership meeting, this is our largest gathering each year with our members. Chugach is the largest electric utility in Alaska with more than 91,000 member owners. We provide service to 113,000 metered locations in an area that extends from Anchorage to the northern Kenai Peninsula and from Whittier to Tyonek on the west side of Cook Inlet. Chugach also provides power for Alaskans throughout the rail belt through wholesale and economy sales. As members of the cooperative, you are the owners of Chugach, and we're happy to see you here this evening. Tonight, our MC is Chugach's Senior Manager of Corporate Communications, Julie Haskett. Julie.
Dan, okay. Thank you, Cece. And once again, was that so awesome, the Military Youth Academy and Emily singing the national anthem? I'm still kind of excited about that. Wow, that was amazing. Okay, a few announcements as we get underway. As a reminder, if you have not voted, you can vote until the close of the break, and the break is going to happen in about 10 or 15 minutes. At the table in the back, you will find information for tonight's meeting. We have an agenda. We have a copy of the minutes for last year's meeting, which you'll have to approve in a few minutes. We have the annual report, which was on the back table. I forgot to bring one up, but please feel free to pick that up and take it home and read about all of the great things that we did in 2023. There's also some note cards in the back. If you want to ask questions a little later, you can write them down and we'll read some from the podium. We're also going to take some live questions up front. It'll be after Arthur Miller, the CEO's update. And if we don't get to all the written questions, please put your contact information and we will get back to you. Again, those cards and pens are on the back table. And you want to have your blue voter card handy. Make sure if you're a registered member, you have this voting card. Even if you've already voted like previously electronically, we want you to register so we can establish a quorum for tonight. And as a reminder, the first 230 registered members got a $25 gift card to either Bell's Nursery or the Diamond Greenhouse. That's part of Chugach's commitment to Arbor Day, which was Friday, April 26th, and our continued commitment to Treeline USA, which is a program we've been involved in for many years. Whether you plant a tree or a shrub or some other gardening item, we just appreciate you contributing to the greenery of our community. And remember, don't plant under power lines and call before you dig, 811. Later tonight, we're going to be drawing door prizes. That's what's important. We have the pink tickets are door prizes, and the blue tickets are for that vehicle you saw sitting out in front. That's a 2005 Ford Escape. It only has 42,000 miles on it. And it's got the snow tires in the back, I realized today. So again, at the very end of the meeting, yes, you have to stay. It's a bribe. Door prizes and the vehicle. So, but also you want to stay, you want to hear all the presentations, and you want to see who wins the election. And you do have to stay. You can't win in absentia. I'd also like to introduce our executive team who is here tonight. If you could stand and wave. We have Arthur Miller, our CEO. We have Matt Clarkson, who is our legal counsel, chief legal counsel. Sherry Hires, who's our chief financial officer. Al Rudek, who's our chief strategic officer. Tiffany Wilson, our HR chief. And Andrew Laughlin, our chief operating officer. And then the other board members who are here tonight, you've already met Cece. We have Treasurer Rachel Morse, Secretary Suzanne Fleet Green, Director Bettina Chastain, Director Mark Wiggin, and Director Jim Nordlund. And again, as was mentioned earlier, Sam Kaysen is traveling and was unable to be here. And also tonight, to make sure we do everything correctly, is Barbara Simpson-Kraft is our parliamentarian. She comes back every year and makes sure we don't violate any rules. So now I'm going to ask Cece to come back to the podium to establish the quorum.
Okay, hi again. Will Master Election Judge Don Budwick please come forward? Don Bundick, sorry. I think, okay. Is this your part or mine? Like, no, this is mine, okay. Well,
The bylaws state 7.5% of all members of the association voting, including at least 50 members present in person, shall constitute a quorum for a regular or special meeting of the members. The 7.5% has already been accomplished through electronic and mail voting. Therefore, we need 50 members in attendance at the annual meeting to vote on issues that may come before us this evening. The number of members that we have, 254 registered so far. So we do have a quorum at this time.
Thank you, Don. Per the bylaws, not less than 30 or more than 60 days before the meeting on March 29, 2024, the official notice for the 2024 annual meeting was mailed to all members of record. Next on the agenda is approval of the minutes for the 2023 annual meeting. Copies of the 2023 annual meeting minutes were on the table by the door when you came in the building this evening. Is there a motion to waive the reading of the minutes? I see a motion. Is there a second? Okay. We have a motion and a second to waive the reading of the minutes for the 2023 annual meeting. We will vote by using the blue cards that you were given upon registration. All in favor of waiving the reading of the minutes, please raise your blue cards. Thank you. All opposed? Seeing none, the motion passes. We will not be reading those. Now we have to go ahead and approve those minutes. Is there motion to approve the minutes from the 2023 annual meeting? I see a motion. Is there a second? The second. Is there any discussion? Okay. This has been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes of the 2023 annual meeting. All in favor, please vote by raising your cards. Any opposed? Thank you. The motion passes. Next on our agenda is unfinished business, and there's no unfinished business before us tonight. Continuing on to new business, there's also no new business before us tonight. And I will turn over the meeting back to Julie.
Thank you, Cece. Now I would like to ask Heidi Hansen to come forward and give us a report of the nominating committee for this year. Heidi Hansen. Oh, she's right behind me. Sorry. That's okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Heidi Hansen. You'll have to excuse my voice. It's been my pleasure to serve as chair of the association's 2024 nominating committee. I'd like to explain a little bit about the process for selecting candidates for directors that appear on this year's ballot. Chugach ran notices from November 2023 through January of this year in the Anchorage Daily News, the Chugach Outlet newsletter on Chugach's website, and various social media channels advertising the 2 seats of the Board of Directors. Interested members were required to submit applications to the nominating committee by January 24th of this year. The nominating committee interviewed 4 members who submitted applications. They were Sam Kaysen, Todd Lindley, Dan Rogers, and Mark Wiggin. The committee voted to recommend all 4 applicants for the ballot, and the nominations were posted in accordance with the bylaws. The bylaws also provide for a petition process to add names to the ballot. No petitions were submitted this year. Therefore, in total, there are 4 names on the ballot for 2 positions open in this year's board election. In closing, I would like to thank my fellow 2024 nominating committee members for serving with me on the committee. They are Steve Straight, Vice Chair, Patty Bogan, Ashley Johnson, Jessica Koloski, and Louise Lazure. I'd also like to thank Director Bettina Chastain, who served as board liaison for the nominating committee. And last but most importantly, I would like to thank Scarlett Maston for her unbelievable organizational skills and her steadfast support for our nominating committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Heidi. And now I would like to ask Jim Strandberg of the Bylaws Committee to please come forward for the report of the Bylaws Committee. And just while he's walking up here, I'll tell you, Scarlett Maston is the Chugach employee who was the staff to the nominating committee that they gave special thanks to, and she is an outstanding employee.
Good evening. My name is Jim Strandberg, and I served on the association's bylaws committee. And I take a moment to just let you know that our liaison, Scarlett Maston, did an excellent job and was with us and helped our committee understand the life and understand the bylaws process. Chugach members were given the opportunity to submit proposed changes to the bylaws by sending them to the committee's attention. Notification was given in the Anchorage Daily News, the Chugach Outlet newsletter, and on chugachelectric.com from November 2023 through January of this year. Members were asked to submit bylaw amendments to the Bylaws Committee by January 24th. There were 3 proposed bylaw changes reviewed by the committee this year. The committee considered them and voted to recommend 2 proposals for the board to consider adding to the ballot. The board of directors considered the proposed bylaws and moved the 2 amendments forward for your vote. The proposals appear as reduce the number of board meetings. Directors are compensated per year. And the second is grammar and pronoun use and other non-substantive edits on the ballot, which is essentially a cleanup of some of the wording and the grammar in the bylaws. It's not a pronoun issue, it's just cleaning up grammar, I assure you. In closing, I would like to thank my fellow 2024 Bylaws Committee members for serving with me on the committee. They are Michael Powell, who is the chair, Matt, and he's traveling right now, Matt Moore, vice chair, Frank Wartney, Jessica Koloski, Mitchell Roth, and my friend Bernie Smith. And I'd like to thank Director Jim Nordland, who served as a board liaison to the Bylaws Committee. Jim, you did a good job, an old friend of mine. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim. And I should say that if you're interested in serving on our election, nominating, or bylaws committee, we advertise every fall in the Outlet newsletter, which I know you all read monthly. And we also advertise on the website and in the newspaper. So if you're interested in one of those volunteer committees, keep your eye out in the fall. Now I would like to introduce the candidates that are running for the Board of Directors and ask that they stand and be acknowledged. We've had the candidate bios and short video statements on the Chugach website for about a month. There was also a candidate forum hosted by the Anchorage Chamber of Commerce. We put that video on our website as well. So hopefully you were able to access some of that information before you voted. So in alphabetical order, as we mentioned earlier, Sam Kaysen was unable to be here tonight. Todd Lindley, are you here? If you could stand and wave. There's Todd, he's a candidate. Dan Rogers, where's Dan? There's Dan right there. And Mark Wiggin. So now we're going to take our recess. It is 6:22. We're going to take a 10-minute recess, and this is your last opportunity to vote if you haven't voted. So please vote in the back if you haven't voted, but we're going to come back precisely at 6:32, and we're going to get underway. So here's 10 minutes of a recess. Thanks.
Just pretend you cling to your papers and pens. Wait until you like me again. Wait for your love. I'll wait for your love. I'll wait for your love. I'll wait for your love.
We were strangers at the bar, they were playing Wonderwall. I overheard you say you hate this song. Next thing I knew, I'm walking over, came and tapped you on your shoulder, said, my dear, you're not the only one. Spent the night there at my place, that night became 100 days, and I shared all my deepest secrets with you. Soon enough, well, I found out you're something I can't live without, and every time I close my eyes, I miss you. And I know I waited all my life just to fall for someone like you. In the blink of an eye, it all fell through. I can't even lie, I'm not doing well. Waking up without you, sleeping by myself, alone in our room, all your stuff is gone. Yeah, I'm standing still here while you're moving on. When my world would tear in two, you were wearing too. Now I can't even call you my friend. Oh darling, it's strange, cause you and I are strangers all over again. Hearts a mess and the heads ablaze. The nights become the starts of days, and I've been drinking just to get me through. It's funny how you love someone, and when it's over said and done, it's almost like you never even knew. And I know I waited all my life just to fall for someone like you. In the blink of an eye, yeah, it all fell through. I can't even lie, I'm not doing well. Waking up without you, sleeping by myself, alone in our room. All your stuff is gone. Yeah, I'm standing still here while you're moving on. When my world would tear into, you were wearing too. Now I can't even call you my friend. Oh darling, it's strange, 'cause you and I are strangers all over again. All over again. Now I know I'll be waiting all my life for someone like you. I can't even lie, I'm not doing well. Waking up without you, sleeping by myself, alone in our room. All your stuff is gone. Yeah, I'm standing still here while you're moving on. When my world would tear into, you were wearing too. Now I can't even call you my friend. Oh darling, it's strange, 'cause you and I are strangers all over again. be alone. I'll stay here with you while I'm wishing there was more. I pray forgiveness as we end upon the floor. I don't wanna be
Welcome back, everyone. The meeting is reconvened. All right, registration and voting are now closed. As mentioned already, Chugach has a 7-member board of directors elected by and from the membership. It really is a privilege to serve on this board and represent you, our members. The past year has been a busy one. We've dealt with several important issues, including gas supply, rate case, some major projects, and more. As a way to summarize our progress on those issues and initiatives, each year we put together a video highlighting the board's thoughts on the work that has been done and the work that is still to come. Tonight, we'd like to share that video with you.
Well, for me being a new board member, I think it was really good to see how the board has come together and moved on a couple of key issues. I think renewable energy is one.
Chugach is in an era of transition. We are, as well known, we have a critical natural gas shortage in Cook Inlet, and we have been working diligently to figure out what we can do to keep the lights on and power to folks in the future.
While doing finding gas to make sure we can bridge across, the board has also been laser focused on renewable energy penetration, increasing the renewable energy penetration.
I would say the general rate case approval by the board. This was a monumental task that required a lot of time from our team, culminated in board approval, and it reflects our commitment to operational excellence and financial stability.
I think one of the biggest accomplishments of the board this year was in finishing up our draft studies and pulling together the draft plan for the Agglutinin mitigation plan. And that will go off to the governor, and after several years of study work and analysis, I think that we've come up with a great plan that meets the needs of all the stakeholders going forward.
The other sort of out of view milestone that I think that we really made progress on is in the strategic planning process. We had a wonderful strategic planning session last fall, and I think it's going to bear fruit in the future.
We kept the power on, and we continue to provide safe and affordable power for the rail belt and for our members. Often we don't give that enough credit. We take that for granted. But I think that's the biggest achievement.
I would say by appointing director liaison to our standing member committees ensures a two-way communication by both hearing members' perspective and effectively sharing board viewpoints.
The MAC is the member advisory committee that was set up to gain input from interested members and help guide and focus the board and on some of the more critical issues.
To me, the most apparent, the most obvious, and most frequent is at our board meetings and our committee meetings. And in terms of engagement, we've tried very hard. Again, it was suggestions by our members, and was to limit the amount of executive sessions. We've worked very hard to make our meetings more open, transparent and obvious as to what we're talking about.
We have had an unprecedented number of members coming forward to participate with us at our board meetings, and we've tried to make sure that everyone had a chance to speak at those board meetings, and the input they've given us has been invaluable. We've also gone out of our way to engage in public processes like the Eklutna process.
We've done public outreach in Cooper Landing and Moose Pass, and we've been out talking with members. We've had 6 public meetings in 3 different locations for the Eklutna Hydro Power Project, and we're looking at our website and continuing to make it more accessible and look at how our members utilize that. And our board meetings, our committee meetings and our board meetings are always open to members. We always have time on the agenda to hear from members.
We've renewed the member advisory committee. We have new members that are really engaged. We've seen at a couple of public meetings over the winter, good turnout, good engagement through online comments. As always, I think Chugach's social media is fantastic. I think it provides really critical information to members about their power supply, their outages. Going to the website, going to the app now makes it really easy for members. So I think Chugach is really doing a good job increasing who it's reaching and how it's communicating with those members.
First of all, we need to continue that we maintain an organization that emphasizes safety, reliability, and affordable cost for our member ratepayers. In a cooperative, you know, we're elected as board members to look out for the interests of our member ratepayers. That means we got a plan for the future, and it's very important that we think about a future that doesn't include just generating energy with fossil fuels, but looking at renewables.
For the board, we need to really move on natural gas. Everyone knows how critical that is, and so I am very hopeful, optimistic that the board will come together with a shared strategic vision for how we are going to ensure that we have continued affordable, reliable natural gas supply for our members.
As everybody knows, Cook Inlet gas is an issue, and it provides 80% of our generation is gas generation, and we need to develop the solution and get working on the solution for long-term gas contracts.
Well, we've got to move that project to the next step. Staff is doing good work. Well, once they've got a firm proposal, one that makes commercial and operational sense, it comes to the board for review, analysis, and approval. We need to move that forward.
Hyper-focused on gas supply and making sure that we have our eye on the ball for that. We're pushing for increases in renewable generation. We're looking at taking advantage of all the opportunities that infrastructure funding provides and continuing to be a good utility on the rail belt.
The board continues to be focused on the declining natural gas supply. We're focused on making informed decisions to ensure reliable energy generation sources for our members for the upcoming years.
In the coming years for the board, the key issue will remain reliability. After reliability, we have to remain focused on affordability and sustainability.
Thank you for your attention, everyone. As you can see, there's a lot happening at Chugach and in the industry as a whole. And the board members are proud of the work that we do on your behalf. Next, Treasurer Rachel Morris will now deliver the Treasurer's report. Rachel?
Good evening. Thank you for being here tonight. I'm very pleased to serve as the treasurer of the Chugach Board of Directors. The 2023 financial statements are in the 2023 annual report referenced earlier, and we encourage you to take that home. Also tonight, in order to summarize the financial information, we have a video with some highlights from the 2023 financial report. Chugach's net utility plant asset base at the end of 2023 comprised of 42% generation, 14% transmission, 30% distribution, 8% BRU, which is the Beluga River Unit gas field, and 6% general plant and other, which is largely structures, transportation, office and communication equipment. Our sales in 2023 totaled approximately 2.3 million megawatt hours, with the majority of the sales providing service to our retail members and the remaining sales related to economy sales to Golden Valley Electric Association, power pool sales to Matanuska Electric Association, and the sales to our wholesale customer, the City of Seward. This is compared to sales in 2022 of approximately 2.3 million megawatt hours. As a result of our sales, our retail members provided approximately 91% of the $365.2 million of revenue in 2023. Our total cost of electric service of $357.1 million comprised of fuel and operations and maintenance, which made up 62%, while the depreciation of our assets and interest on the debt to fund those assets made up 29%. We also purchased power in 2023, primarily from the Bradley Lake Hydroelectric Project, Fire Island, the Municipality of Anchorage's ownership in Eklutna, and Matanuska Electric Association through our power pooling agreement, which accounted for 9% of total cost. Our revenues, less expenses, generated a margin of $8.1 million in 2023 and 2022. As a not-for-profit, member-owned cooperative, these margins will ultimately be returned to you, our members. Our financial ratios, margins for interest over interest and times interest earned ratio, which are measures of our ability to service our short and long-term interest, came in at 1.18 and 1.21, while our equity ratio increased to 16.64% from 15.68% in 2022, primarily due to the continued payments on our outstanding debt. Speaking of debt, the majority of our long-term debt was issued in 2020, and we made approximately $50 million in principal payments in 2023. Additionally, the rates on our long-term debt are fixed and carry an average interest rate of approximately 3.26%. We are able to obtain and secure debt at low rates, due in part to our favorable credit ratings. We currently have an A rating from S&P Global Ratings and an A- from Fitch Ratings. In 2023, our retail members received $3.4 million in capital credit retirement payments. And lastly, we received an unqualified opinion from our independent auditors for 2023. Thank you. Now I would like to introduce Beth Stewart from KPMG. Beth is the engagement partner for Chugach Electric's audit. Beth, please stand again and be recognized. If anybody has any questions about tonight's financial report, please see Beth. No, I'm just kidding. Please hold your questions until the end. There is a Q&A portion at the end of this meeting, and your questions are welcome then. Thank you. We will now have a report from the Chief Executive Officer, Arthur Miller.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for attending Chugach Electric Association's 2024 annual membership meeting. My name is Arthur Miller. I'm the CEO, and I am pleased to provide an update on key priority areas of the association. First, however, I want to thank the Chugach Electric Board of Directors for their dedication and unending commitment to this organization and our membership. The Chugach Board proactively and strategically advances Chugach's interests to ensure long-term viability in an increasingly complex business environment while ensuring reliability at competitive rate levels. They truly do an outstanding job, and we all appreciate and recognize their leadership. Before providing a formal update, I want to provide some background information on Chugach. As Chugach's largest electric utility in the state, we serve approximately 1/3 of all Alaskans over a vast area of south central Alaska, including the majority of the municipality of Anchorage and extending to the communities of Girdwood, Whittier, Hope, Cooper Landing, Moose Pass, Tyonek, and Beluga. We are the 13th largest electric cooperative in the nation as measured on total asset value of $1.8 billion. We are also ranked number 17 in revenue among Alaska businesses ranked by Alaska Business Monthly. Our generation mix is 80% natural gas and 20% renewable generation, primarily hydro and wind. In addition, Chugach is extremely unique as an electric utility, even by national standards. We have a 2/3 working ownership interest in the Beluga River Unit gas field, where 60% of our gas requirements are currently met. Because of this direct ownership, we have saved about $100 million from 2016 through mid-May of this year, and these savings are passed directly on to you in the form of lower electric rates. This past year, we have continued to proactively advance multiple initiatives aligned with our strategic priority areas. These initiatives include efforts to secure a sustainable long-term supply of natural gas, procuring additional gas storage in the Cook Inlet Basin, constructing a new utility-scale battery energy storage system, undertaking a general rate case, rebuilding our transmission line between Girdwood and Indian, and advancing decarbonization efforts, among other items. Decarbonization is an underpinning of everything we do. 2 years ago, the Chugach Board of Directors established decarbonization goals to reduce our carbon intensity by at least 35% by 2030 and at least 50% by 2040, provided, however, there's no significant negative material impact on rates and no impact on reliability. Ideally, decarbonization happens on two fronts, on the utility side, but also on the customer side. On the member or customer side, there is an increased focus on beneficial electrification. Transitioning from gas-powered heating systems, equipment, and vehicles to electric alternatives such as battery-operated lawnmowers and snowblowers and electric vehicles for transportation, this reduces reliance on fossil fuels and promotes the use of cleaner energy. Increasingly, our members are installing solar panels as a supplement to their power needs. We currently have about 900 members who have installed solar and wind at their service locations. On the utility side, we are working to add more clean energy to our generation portfolio. But really, how do we do this? In recognition of our decarbonization goals, a key focus area over this past year has been on integrated resource planning, where we look to the future to identify cost-effective and sustainable generation alternatives that meet our generation requirements. We analyze a wide range of resource options, and our planning process identified clean energy options through 2040, which include wind, solar, hydro, and battery-operated energy storage systems. Importantly, these generation additions increase diversity of our generation mix without adding new thermal generation over the planning horizon. Our integrated resource plan is located on our website if you are interested in learning more about that plan. This chart illustrates our long-term transition towards clean energy to meet our generation requirements. Today, as shown on the left side of the chart, we are heavily reliant on natural gas, and as the supply of natural gas from the Cook Inlet Basin declines, we will replace this gas with imported liquefied natural gas and renewable generation. Importantly, we view liquefied natural gas as a transition fuel as we continue to develop additional clean energy resources. It's critical, however, that we must be prudent in our decision-making, Once a decision is made on the direction to take, we are committing to a path that requires significant capital investment. We want to ensure the appropriate investment is made that allows for this transition. A key component in the transition is gas storage. Why is gas storage important? Ideally, we need to have gas available at all times and immediately when it's needed to meet our generation requirements. Storage will also be increasingly important to balance energy supply and demand as we go forward. Gas storage on both the east and the west side of the Cook Inlet Basin is critical to provide necessary redundancy and resiliency of storage service. We cannot rely on one location for gas storage, but rather multiple sources to ensure adequate gas supplies as well as deliverability to both our power plants, but also to residents and businesses for heating purposes. We are also evaluating the feasibility of developing gas storage at the Beluga River Unit gas field, where we already have a 2/3 working interest. Additionally, electric battery energy storage is critical as we move forward from both a reliability and efficiency perspective. Chugach and Matanuska Electric Association are jointly constructing a new 40-megawatt battery energy storage system located just south of Chugach's headquarters building. The project is projected to be operational in October of this year, and this battery will create greater operational efficiencies and reduce our gas usage and attendant costs by about 5% per year. Battery systems will increasingly be important in allowing us to instantaneously meet load requirements when wind and solar resources are not available. As we look to diversify our generation portfolio, we're also excited to be adding solar to our own facilities. Our South Central Power Project and the Sullivan Power Plant are both getting solar arrays installed later this year. We are also putting a solar array on a new operations building we are constructing at our South Campus. We are also very pleased to be moving forward on a community solar project that will allow members to voluntarily subscribe and receive solar energy from the project on a subscription basis. Earlier this year, we received approval from the Regulatory Commission of Alaska for the project, which will be built at our Rutherford substation, which is located just south of the South Anchorage Walmart. For households and businesses who can't or do not want to install their own solar panels, this is a great option. We hope to begin accepting applications by October of this year, with the project in commercial operation by March of next year. Please watch our website and our monthly newsletter for more information. Another major milestone is sending the proposed final Fish and Wildlife program for the Eklutna Hydroelectric Project to the governor last month. The owners of the project, Chugach, Matanuska Electric, and the municipality of Anchorage, are required every 35 years to develop a program to protect, mitigate damages to, and enhance the fish and wildlife impacted by the project. We worked with a variety of stakeholders over the last 5 years and provided the program to the governor, who will make the final decision, which is expected in October of this year. We believe the proposal provided the governor to the governor represents a compromise that puts water in the Eklutna River, protects the city's water supply, and allows us to continue to use a renewable resource that is reliable, dispatchable, and low cost. Thank you to the many groups that commented on the draft proposal, which helped us formulate the final proposed program that is now in the hands of the governor. Importantly, we remain committed to continue to work with our stakeholders and interested parties in this project. We filed a general rate case with the Regulatory Commission of Alaska last summer. It was the first proposed rate adjustment of base rates for Chugach legacy members since 2020 and former MLMP members since 2017. The Commission approved a 3.6% interim rate increase effective in September of last year, with an additional proposed increase of 2.3% proposed to be effective in October of this year, if approved by the Commission, with the overall increase taking both of those rate changes combined of about 5.9%. Importantly, the primary driver for the rate increase is attributed to declines in electric sales. The electric power industry is extremely capital intensive, with many of our costs fixed. So when we have declines in electric sales, we have to adjust rates to recover those costs. One exciting element of the rate case is that we are proposing a pilot program for time of use rates, which will provide members with the opportunity to receive service with differences in rate levels based on the time of day. If approved, this will provide price signals with the goal to create a more levelized load by incentivizing more energy during off-peak time periods with less energy during on-peak time periods. We're also proposing to remove the demand ratchet for large general service members that are served in the North District who have asked that this rate structure be removed. We're committed to doing everything that we can to remove those conditions from our operating tariff. As part of our continued goal of combining the workforces after acquiring MLMP in 2020, we are bringing employees together to one campus. Since the acquisition, we have been operating on two campuses, the North Campus, and that's the legacy MLMP campus, and the South Campus is the legacy Chugach campus. One of our final steps in the integration process is to bring all employees together, leaving Chugach with one campus. We have retrofitted the South Campus operations building, and we are now adding a new building which will house our engineering team and provide 27 additional operation bays for vehicles and equipment. As mentioned earlier, we are also installing solar panels on the new building. Our one campus plan will lead to increased safety, increased efficiencies, and cost reductions. Most importantly, however, we will have all of our employees working together at the same one location. Looking for ways to meaningfully engage with our members, we have a redesigned website, which you can see on this slide. The new site will launch this Monday, May 20th. It really is state-of-the-art, designed to be more user-friendly, informative, intuitive, and just an overall better experience. We hope you will take this opportunity to explore our new site, familiarize yourself with the new design and features, as well as its improved functionality. The transition to clean energy is multifaceted and requires the adoption of new technologies while reducing our reliance on natural gas. As I have said, we are continually looking at ways to add clean energy projects into our generation mix. In addition to reliability, consistency, and predictability, we must support a culture of forward, creative, and innovative thinking. I would like to end with a video we produced earlier this year that illustrates our long-term vision for the future.
In South Central Alaska, an isolated region defined by its rugged beauty, a pressing concern is coming to the forefront. Electric utility co-op Chugach Electric, which powers homes and businesses, is forecasting a decline in locally sourced natural gas. In the face of this challenge, they are developing a strategic plan, a roadmap for turning a potential crisis into a platform for innovation. Their roadmap focuses on two main objectives in the short term: secure a sustainable gas supply that can bridge the immediate need for an alternative fuel source, and then integrate clean energy technology. Bridging the gap involves importing gas or tapping sequestered gas from Alaska's Arctic. The gas would be stored deep underground, tucked away in the Cook Inlet Sedimentary Formation, where gas has been a lifeline for the community for decades. This natural gas has a significant role. It will continue to step up as a source of reliable power when needed as a backup, and to stabilize power output from intermittent renewable sources, ensuring a steady and predictable energy supply. The co-op is well aware that times are changing. They are preparing for a future dominated by clean energy. Imagine a future where wind, solar, and hydro sources stand alongside advanced energy storage systems. In addition to existing technology, Chugach is looking at cutting-edge technologies like hydrogen-fired turbines, carbon capture, tidal or hydrokinetic, geothermal, compact nuclear reactors, and smart grid systems, as well as advancing beneficial electrification. Looking further ahead, they are considering long-duration energy storage like compressed air storage and thermal energy solutions. Turning this vision into reality will take collaboration from co-op members, innovators, regulators, and legislators, because the success of this plan will influence not only the local region, but the broader energy landscape as well. Chugach is moving towards a more sustainable future. Their plans could reshape the energy landscape in Anchorage and serve as a model for other remote communities anywhere.
If you are interested, this video is also available for viewing on our website. We remain committed to our vision of responsibly developing energy to build a clean, sustainable future for Alaska. Permanent and meaningful change, however, does not happen overnight. There is no silver bullet. Solutions will necessarily be multifaceted, driven by new, cleaner generation technologies, supported by policy developments. There is a lot of work to do ahead, but the future is really exciting, filled with tremendous opportunity for the electric utility industry. We never, however, lose sight of serving you, our members, with safe, reliable, affordable electricity. Thank you very much for joining us for the annual meeting.
Thank you, Arthur. And now we're going to take a couple of questions. If you want to come up to the microphone here, we'll take some from the room. While you're deciding that, we have a couple that were submitted in the jar here. This person says, I'm disappointed to learn there's only a small number of renewable energy sources with huge tides in Cook Inlet, wind, and seasonal sun. It doesn't truly matter of the short days you can store energy. Renewable energy sources would help mitigate and decrease natural gas. So you want to comment a little bit about our focus on that?
Yes, a very good question. Number one, there's no question there's a lot of technologies out there to move toward clean energy. However, what is economic? And we are driven by, we don't want rates to go up 20% to put in additional resources to be able to adopt those and integrate those sources into the system. Those technologies keep changing. They get better and better each year. Wind is becoming very competitive, especially as we move forward with expected higher prices in natural gas. That, in fact, we have a lot of additional wind that's going to be on the system, as well as solar at a smaller scale. We are looking at two utility scale projects. One is a solar and one is a wind project across the inlet. One of those is more promising. The wind is very promising as we move forward. It's about 120 megawatts. We do, however, are wide open on other technologies. However, we're driven by the economics. What can we put into the system at the lowest possible cost while still maintaining reliability? In addition, I think it's also important to recognize that while it sounds easy to put in a large wind project, we have to have the generation resource online at all times to be able to load follow when that wind does not blow, or when it does blow, to back off other generation units so we can make sure that our energy demand is in equilibrium with the supply. And that's what we work toward.
This person says, I understand there are a dozen more windmills planned for Fire Island. Why don't you get those working?
I will say there's always interest in adding additional wind turbines, whether it's on Fire Island or other locations in South Central Alaska, and those are under evaluation as we speak.
Okay, I see no takers to the microphone, so this next question I'm going to answer because it came out of my budget. Somebody wanted to know the cost of the 500 meals we served tonight. It was $9,200, so that's your amount. So I thought that was pretty good. 500 meals for that's roughly $18 a piece. So that's the answer to that question. And no dissing the Denina Center, but it's much cheaper than when we used to have it at Denina. And we love this space because we can have our member event outside and this event in here. Parking's great, access is great. So we've liked the move here. Thank you. You have a question for Arthur?
Yes. What is the utility doing to for distribution and transmission to promote clean energy? What investment are you making?
Very good question. Primarily, so the question is, what is Chugach doing to find clean the energy front on the transmission and distribution side of the business? So last year, Chugach and the Alaska Energy Authority, other railbelt utilities in Alaska submitted an application for a grant from the Department of Energy for an additional transmission line from Nikiski to Beluga. And we were awarded that grant. It requires a 100% match, and that's something that we are working with the state legislature on and the governor. The legislature and the governor have been very, very supportive of that. And we're moving, as of now, we are moving forward with that project. It will take approximately 8 years to construct that line. And what that line will do is that will open up our transmission system for additional capacity and transfers of power between the Kenai Peninsula and south central Alaska, primarily Anchorage and north of Anchorage. Importantly, a major benefit of that project is tied in with the Bradley Lake Hydroelectric project, where the Alaska Energy Authority continues to study and advance, and the economics are looking better and better every day, as an expansion of the Bradley Lake Hydroelectric project called the Dixon Diversion, which will increase the energy output of Bradley Lake by 50%. But really, to get the advantages of that expansion, we need additional transmission capabilities between the Kenai Peninsula and Anchorage. On top of that, as I mentioned earlier, we are rebuilding the transmission line between Anchorage and the Kenai Peninsula from 115 kV to 230 kV. That's been a project that's been going on for about 10 years. We do segments every several years. And right now we're working on the segment between Indian and Girdwood. That will also, when that is completed, increase the transfer capabilities of power. It's essential as we move forward that we're able to get power put onto the transmission system on the grid at all locations that are between Homer or Bradley Lake all the way to Fairbanks. Importantly, the legislature just earlier this week, approved an open access transmission tariff requirement, if you will, where the railbelt utilities were working together to create a single price, if you will, for transmission wheeling, what we call, over the transmission system. That will also open up the ability really provide the appropriate generation price signals for adding alternative generation resources on the system. This really is foundational because it sets the stage for additional generation on the rail belt from a variety of sources, regardless of where they're located along the rail belt. Some projects are more economic to be located near Fairbanks. Other ones are more economic to be located near Homer. Other ones are located near Chugach's Beluga power plant. But in this way, the utilities are able to work together and get the best, most economic resources onto the system.
All right, we're going to thank Arthur and go to the door prizes. So can we thank Arthur for his great report?
Thank you very much.
And I know Arthur will be around at the end for folks who want to talk. I'm going to ask Scarlett to come over here and help me draw the door prizes, and then we'll do the election results, and then we'll do the car. So get your pink tickets out. And I was told last year I went too fast and I made these guys run, so we're going to go a little bit slower. Whoops. The first door prize tonight is a $100 gift card to the bicycle shop. Do you want to pick it? Okay, ready? The number is 457849. 457849. The winner is over here. This is the part I got in trouble. I made Linda run last year. She does not want to run. But she did wear tennis shoes this year. Okay, the next one, Car Safeway for $100. Get yourself some groceries. 457-818. 457-818. Is that a hand right there? Where did I see that hand? Of course, Linda, it's on the other side of the room. This young lady over here, 457-818. Raise your hand high. Do we have a winner, Brett? Okay. The next one is a $100 gift certificate to Fred Meyer's. Stir them up good. 457-916. 457-916. Is there a winner in the room? All the way in the back. This is too funny. Could they be any further apart? Can you meet Linda halfway, please? Thank you. The next one's going to be over in that corner. No, This one is a $50 gift card to Wild Scoops Ice Cream. Oh, I didn't know that would be such a crowd pleaser. 457-561. 457-561. Right here, Linda. She gets to go to Wild Scoops. Oh, Brett's taking over. Okay. Okay, that's 4 down and like 8 to go. This is a $50 gift certificate to Fire Island Bakery. Who loves Fire Island? I thought so. 457-976. 457-976. It's way in the back. Fire Island. Okay. The next one is $100 to Spenard Roadhouse, and I think you can also use it to their other restaurants. 457-858. 457-858. Who's going to Spenard Roadhouse? This young man over there. Can you stand up so we can see you better? So Brett can find you? You're doing a great job, Scarlett. Another $50 gift card to Wild Scoops. More ice cream. We get taken care of over there? I just don't want to get in trouble again this year for my process. 457-853. Right here, 457-853 for Wild Scoops. Then another $50 gift card to the Fire Island Bakery. 457-962. 457-962. Fire Island Bakery. Is 457-962 here? In the back, can you stand up so they can find you a little easier? People. Okay, maybe just do like that. Thank you, sir. Giving Brett a chance to catch his breath. A $100 gift card to the, it's a Visa gift card, a $100 Visa gift card. 458-061. 458-061 is the $100 Visa gift card. You guys are a great team. Thank you. Okay, we have 3 more. Then election results, then the vehicle. A $100 gift card to Beartooth, which is also good at Moose's Tooth. And what we do with these door prizes is we do try to support the local businesses. So 458-050. 458-050. Beartooth gift card. Do I have a 458-050? Right there? All right. 458-050, Brett? Okay, the last two are really good ones too. $100 to Club Paris. Woo! $457-837. 457-837. Club Paris in the back. All right. And the last one is a $100 gift card to Altura Bistro. Who's been to that new place in Midtown? It's really good. They have very creative items. 457-567. 457. Over here, the lady in the green sweatshirt. Oh, I got a couple more fun things. Before I call up Don Bundick to announce the election results, we're going to announce the 2 members who won a free year of electricity, up to 10,000 kilowatt hours at the residential rate, right, Arthur? So if you voted in our election, every single person who voted tonight or whenever you voted, your name was put in the pile. They picked 2 names tonight from everybody who voted, included who voted tonight. You'll get 1 free year of electricity. We have 2 winners. Natalie Wickland, I don't know if Natalie would be here, and Barbara J. Weber. Those are the 2 winners of free electricity. And now I'm going to invite Master Election Judge Don Bundick up here to announce the election results. Then when we're done with that, we'll do the car.
Good evening again. How's everybody doing? You guys are so excited. Okay. Good evening. My name is Dawn Bundick, and it has been my privilege to serve as Master Election Judge for this year's election. The election committee is made up of member volunteers appointed by the board and are responsible for ensuring a fair and impartial election process. Chugach hired survey and ballot systems to serve as election administrator and to conduct the mechanics of the election. The Board of Directors set April 4th, 2024 as the record date for this year's election. On April 17th, election materials were sent electronically and mailed to members. Members had the choice to vote by mail, online, or in person tonight. Mail and paper ballot voting ended on Thursday, yesterday, May 16th, and online voting ended at 3 p.m. today. In-person voting as part of the annual meeting opened at 5 p.m. today. Earlier today, received ballots were tallied, and tonight, in-person ballots were counted and added to the total vote count. Election materials were posted online, and members were notified of election milestones through mailings and through email communications. In addition to mailings and email, members were kept informed of the election process through regular updates in the outlet, on the Chugach website, and on social media. Please join me in recognition of the service provided by my fellow election committee members working on your behalf for the past few months to ensure a fair and impartial election. They are Tunde Akadimpe, Patty Bogan, Lawrence Camp, Louise Lazure, Jim Liebitz, Jim Magawan, and Bill Sinton. Give them a hand. I'd also like to thank Director C.C. Cooper, who served as the board's liaison to the election committee. The 2024 election results. Here are your election results. Out of 89,974 eligible members, 12,666 ballots were cast in the 2024 election. Of that, 12,551 were cast before tonight's meeting, and 115 ballots were cast at tonight's meeting. Again, a total of 12,666 ballots were cast in this year's election, representing 14.08% of members of record. I'll first announce results of voting on the bylaw change, then follow with the results of the director's election. Here are the results on the proposed bylaw amendments. The proposed bylaw amendment changing the number of meetings that Board of Directors may become compensated for. 10,580 yes votes and 1,686 no votes. Again, that was 10,580 yes votes and 1,686 no votes. Therefore, the bylaw amendment passed. The proposed bylaw amendment cleaning up some small grammatical and style edits in the bylaws. 9,384 yes votes, 2,870 no votes. Again, that was 9,384 yes votes and 2,870 no votes. Therefore, the bylaw amendment passed. Now, I will announce the results of the election of directors. The two candidates who received the most votes will be elected to 4-year terms. I will give the results for each candidate and read their vote totals twice. Sam Kaysen received 5,892 votes. Again, 5,892 votes. Todd Lindley received 4,877 votes. Again, 4,877 votes. Dan Rogers received 6,449 votes. Again, 6,449 votes. Mark Wiggin received 6,675 votes. Again, 6,675 votes. Therefore, Mark Wiggin and Dan Rogers have been elected to 4-year terms. That concludes my election report. Ms. Julie.
And following this meeting, there is a short meeting of a special meeting of the board where they swear in the directors. So just so you know, that's what happens right after this. We do have a driver's license still from Kevin Mitchell Hayes. If you're still here, we have your driver's license. I'm going to need you, Scarlett, to draw one blue ticket out of that drawing. And if you win the vehicle tonight, I have the keys and the title, so don't leave without talking to me, because we can do the paperwork and you can take it home. And it is a surplus vehicle. Chugach surpluses vehicles every year, so we asked them to save the one that was in the best shape for this meeting and to incentivize you to come to this meeting. It's a 2005 Ford Escape with just over 42,000 miles on it. And just want to make sure I didn't forget anything else. Okay. Yeah, blue. 582-733. 582-733. Is that person here? In the back? He's raising his hand. Come on. Will you bring your ticket up here? Oh, okay. And now I would like, Cece's going to come up and adjourn the meeting, and then we'll chat and we'll make sure you get your vehicle. Thank you so much for coming.
Well, congratulations on the winning of the vehicle. All right. I hope you all enjoyed our member appreciation event and found the annual meeting informative. As mentioned before, this is our largest member gathering each year, so thank you for spending your Friday evening with us. Is there a motion to adjourn? Second? This meeting is adjourned.